I was checking your website and saying that Dirty Granny Tales came out after the inspiration to create a musical with puppets and people. But what inspired you to do that?
First of all, we start making the music. And the music by itself has this theatrical atmosphere. And after we think, why not? Let's do it more theatrical stuff on the stage. And we were lucky because we found very easy people to collaborate with us, the puppeteers and the dancer. And we made our first show in 2006. And since then we improve it.
Was any of you involved with theater? Did you work with it? Did you?
Yes. The puppeteers and the dancers, of course.
Okay, but not you, not the music.
No, it was our first experience with the theater. Yes.
So without no connection with the theater, you end up making
exactly. Yeah.
theater-like music. Are you going to theater plays? Are you watching theater? Or?
In general, I like to watch individual, unique things. If it comes to a show, in general, I like mix art.
So no classic, not so
it's
much.
Not my cup of tea. I'm talking about myself.
Why did you move to Berlin?
When?
No, why?
We moved to Berlin first of all because it's a very nice spot in Europe if you want to have a tour. And also it's a very nice place to, you have a lot of inspirations there, a lot of artists are there. And since the puppeteers moved to Berlin,
really?
That was the first motivation to think seriously to do it as a band.
Now I see. I thought you moved first. No, so it was the other members of the band?
The puppeteers were 1 year before because they have their own show.
Yeah.
And after we move also. And also Dalai, the cellist, was already there.
Okay, I understand. When it comes to the musical expression or making music, do you feel more comfortable in Berlin or was it easier in Greece?
The environment, of course, sometimes it's an influence because you feel different. And if you feel different, the music is different. For example, the new show, the subject has to do something with immigration somehow.
Okay.
If you see the show, you will see that there's a couple who are living in a place that is burning and they have to live. So if I didn't move to Berlin, maybe I didn't have this idea.
Yeah.
This place, you hear mostly groovy bands. It's electronic music. Our style has dark elements, and dark music isn't something that you can see so often in Berlin.
Okay. Do you play often in Germany?
So far, we played only in Berlin a lot of times.
Do people like it? Or?
Yes, of course, yeah.
So it was a good reception?
For me, it's important to the people to give you the motivation to keep doing this thing because you spend a lot of time to build the show.
You're coming up with a new show tonight in Alba Iulia?
Yeah, this is a premiere.
Yes. When did you start preparing the show?
Preparing this show? Yeah, 3 years ago.
Wow.
And I already have composed most of the songs before I moved to Berlin.
Okay. But
But the rhythm of life in Berlin is slow.
Okay.
In general, it's very slow compared to Greece.
interesting. But why did you need a new show? Because you didn't the old show you didn't tour the world or anything. Why did you need?
First of all, we feel good if we play something new. It's we need it.
Okay.
It's an expression. You need to say something new, but that doesn't mean that we don't feel like playing the old show. Of course, we want to play the new show also in Romania again, and in Greece we cannot play in these places the old show. I have
Yes.
seen that already.
Yes, but if you will play, if I hope you get the chance to tour or something. You can't do like other bands, pick one song from that album. You need a show, a full show,
It's
right?
a concept.
Yeah.
It's a concept.
How much? Because you don't travel just with a guitar.
Not at all.
How much stuff do you have with you?
Yeah. A lot of
full car.
It's a full car, and if you travel with a plane, it's very, very hard.
Do you make everything yourselves for the show?
About the new show, some things made by other people, some masks.
Do you tell them, or you find them and say, "Oh, I like this, I'll buy it"?
I draw the sketch of the characters,
Yeah.
and this is the base. But of course, they are free to, because we trust them. We know their work, and they're very good.
Cool.
But we also do a lot of constructions.
Speaking of characters, who is Didi?
Who is Didi? Didi is, yes, we can say that it's a characteristic sign of this band. Didi belongs to our first show, it's the main character. And actually it's a puppet. It's a puppet because the previous show has to do with inverted world, when the puppets rule the world there and the humans are the subject, the tool, the object, have the role of the object. So the Didi was the main character, and the author of the fairy tale has also a role in the show, and the author fall in love with his main character.
Okay. And Didi's son?
Didi's
Is
son,
there,
yes, is their son.
Interesting. And why did you choose Didi for the name?
Oh,
Does it represent anything?
This is a very funny story. I'm an illustrator, and I used to work in a lot of magazines, and also in fashion magazines. And there was a fashion magazine that I used to make a character named Didi, but it was, let's say, a girl with a very trendy fashion style, and I wanted to turn this character to a dark creature, you know. I like the contrast.
Do they know it from the magazine?
No,
Did you send it to them?
I invited them, but they didn't come.
They didn't come. Where is Didi now? Where do you store your stuff?
Somewhere in the room.
You have some kilos of stuff.
You cannot say that they're not so heavy, because
Or
most
some
of
meters.
Yes.
What's Telion's Garden then? Because that's the name of the show.
Yeah. The word Telion is Greek word. Telion means perfect. And we use this word for the name of the master of the garden, because the subject is that our hero, since his world is burning, he travels to the perfect world. But this is the trap, because for me there is no perfection. Perfection is word that if you have something good, you will have also something bad.
But that can be perfect, right? To have good and bad.
Perfection, it's subjective.
Exactly.
Subjective. For you is something else. For me, is something else.
So what is perfection for Telion then? What is he looking for?
Perfection is that there is a balance, and but when we have a balance and everything is so strict and clean, if everything is clean, you miss the emotions. It's not
empty.
emotional. It's empty. It's empty.
I see. Okay.
On the surface, it's nice,
Yeah.
but there's no something deep.
What attracted me to you, it's the weird singing style.
Okay.
How did you find out you can sing like that?
First of all,
In the shower.
before the show, before we made the Dirty Granny Tales, I didn't sing at all.
Okay.
At all. And one day I said, let's take my guitar and start sing like this, just in my room, to spend my time. And after, I asked one of my friends, do you want to listen what I recorded yesterday, for example? Yes, okay, right. And the first reaction was laughing. Hey, you sing like a woman. But afterwards, I received very nice comments. As I told you, nice comments, it's very important.
Of course.
To keep doing things.
Why do you keep doing this? Just because of the nice comments?
I cannot imagine. First of all, even if, let's say, I say that I have to find a way how to make my living, to do something, because I spend a lot of time doing this. Even if I want to break this band, I cannot do it anymore, because this is my child now.
Yeah.
I cannot kill my child anymore. I am in a trap.
That's good for us, at least. Do you think your music is sad or happy?
I cannot say happy. I cannot say sad. I think it's better if I use the word ironic. It has something ironic.
Do you try to make people think
Yes,
when they listen to your music?
Of course. To think, because there are some meanings in our songs, because the main subject is the human nature.
It looks like that.
We go deep to the human instinct.
And today it's easy to talk with the fans on Facebook and everything. Does it seem like people understand your message, or it's not so easy?
I'm quite sure that with the new show, the story is very understandable. But for example, Didi San's show, it's a very complicated story. So you have to stay very concentrated during the show to understand the meaning. Some people understand it, some others not.
How did the Norwegians react to the shows? You played in Norway, right?
They liked it a lot. But as I told you, it's we played only once in a children festival.
Yeah.
So I cannot expect that they would catch the meaning.
Did you only play for children, or did you have different audience?
We have different audience, but let's say that we had 3 shows in a row. First show was for teenagers, 18 years old, maybe 16, I don't know. The second was 14 and the third was 12, something like that.
Okay, so yeah, quite young people.
Yes, but they enjoyed.
Yeah,
They enjoyed.
that's very nice.
The applause was very warm.
And what do you do beside music? You still do the design?
Yes, my job, as I told you, is I'm an illustrator, animator.
Okay. So you do all the animations
Yes,
yourself?
I do all
wow.
the visuals.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yes, it's a lot of work. Especially the new show, only the fact that the subject is in another worldly garden, I had to make all the plants. All the plants, one by one.
Nobody forced you to pick another one. No, but
If you notice, you will see plants that you've never seen before.
I'm looking forward to that.